Recording. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and start this and people can hop in, and I might have to moderate the hopping in a little bit, so but my plan is to have Stacy, if you don't mind, speaking a little bit about what you know on the advocacy realm of arts and music especially. And then I have some neat documents to share, a couple of links. And I just shared a document, a link to a document in the chat. And you can, it's just a plain old Google Doc that has a list of links that I'll be probably showing off a little bit. And in case I don't get to all of them, you can check them out there, but then you'll have access to that. You can grab that document, and then we'll have time for questions, I guess. So, yeah. Stacy, do you have a sort of a little spiel for us?
No, I don't. I can just say that all the state agencies that I'm involved in are, really advocating for making sure that the music and the arts happen for every kid, and that really focusing on the safety first of students is the way to do it, and then the equity issue of, already students don't have access to what they need. So that's kind of the angle they're taking. Chris knows that I emailed Eureka City Schools about making sure that band and choir for the secondary level stays in the school day. Don't take it out of the school day, or if we ever get in person this year, those kids aren't in it. So looking at non-aerosol ways to provide that, although I don't know now how many schools are actually meeting in person other than Fortuna High. So, which there's a big petition for them to close down. And really the likelihood, I think, with the way that we're going to end up probably being on the watch list before school would have started anyway. That's my guess.
Okay.
Dr. Frankovich sent out a letter that was I saw it posted online today about schools. So look for that. Now, I know it was on Red-Headed Black Belt. I don't know if it's gone anywhere else, but yeah, basically saying that, love to see schools start, but we got to be safe.
Definitely. Okay.
I think we also need to get over that idea that schools are closed. They're just closed from face. That we just don't have face-to-face right now. We're in distance learning, and a lot of people are just saying, well, schools are closed, and we got to get people to stop using that term, because then it seems like nothing's happening.
Right, and teachers, yeah, all of us teachers are probably doing more now than we ever have in the summer to get ready for what we want to do, which is teach. And so we are working, and I know students are working. I know administrators are working. Yeah. So it's absurd to think that anything is closed. Yeah.
Right. I put in a good 2 hours yesterday and a good 3 hours today already, trying to look for different resources and change what I did this last spring that I thought was ineffective, that I'm really trying to look for something that's more effective. So
it's all, yeah, I'm just lesson plan and look for material or for resources. Exactly.
Yep.
You got any information, Chris, on how ECS is running the elementary program?
No. We are Michael and the principals are discussing that.
Okay.
Which scares me quite a bit, because if they're talking about, I don't know. I haven't heard anything yet.
Okay.
I've heard everything from I could be a roving substitute to academic support.
That's awful.
Yeah, because they could. One of the things that they're doing, because they went into a hiring freeze, is they could move Mary into a teaching position again, because she has a credential, and just eliminate that part of the day, because with distance learning and all, then if we do go back to face, they could then shorten the day for the students, and then because we're prep period for for the 4th and 5th grade teachers, and then move their prep after students have left. So there's a lot of possibilities out there. None of them are great, and we're really trying to keep them thinking about how we could utilize music in the elementary. I've given him a lot of ideas on how we could do it. I'm trying to be the advocate for that. Mary is also trying to schedule a time to talk with Michael as well. So, but yeah, it's right now we're just trying to push for it and make sure we keep it in the elementaries. We're a little bit worried that that could be taken away for a while. It's a little scary.
Mm-hmm.
How about you? Connie? Are you still at both sites? Just so you know.
For me, yeah. Mm-hmm. My public school site, I'm at, and we're trying to figure out how to fit it in and do the schedule. And he actually this summer, when he was, I guess, writing up stuff about the school, he said, "Can I say that all the levels of music will incorporate technology?" I said, yes, yes. So I feel really confident about my Fieldbrook administrator. He went on to a CMEA webinar with us to say how he is advocating to keep me and what he's doing to try to keep me there, which is great. The charter school, my administrator told me that I think what I got out of this mini chat was that she's taking away one of my classes, and the fourth grade teacher, the fourth graders, and the fourth grade teacher is unaware of this. So today or tomorrow when I meet with her, I'm gonna straighten that out. And since it's a charter school, I guess there's different laws about employment and everything. So I mean, she still wants me there, but maybe lacking that one class. I would like to fight for that class because I think it's absurd to not have that class. I think it might be a funding thing. So I just want a straight answer out of her if that's what it is. So.
Right. And Judy, are you still going to be doing Scotia this year?
I'm still at Scotia. The parents want a full day in person. I don't know if that's going to happen. There's a board meeting tomorrow night that I will virtually attend. And I've been given funds to make personal plastic practice instrument xylophones for all 100 kids, which take about half an hour to make each one. And I'm going to have a pair of rhythm sticks for each student. So that will take care of rhythm and melody, creativity and experiment and theory instruction. And we are hopefully going to be in the cafeteria on Fridays. So there'll be enough distance. And if we go outside, we're far enough away from the classrooms so that we can, I don't know about the top of our lungs, but sing outside.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, they're being super supportive. And every time I float an idea that has a little bit of money in it, I get claps and bravos. What more can I hope for?
Great. So as far as advocacy, we're firing up the, not the Humboldt Arts Council, but the Humboldt Arts Alliance, which is the Humboldt Arts Now community. I think we had to rename ourselves, which is under that California Arts Alliance umbrella, just to bring folks together again for all of those arts pieces. It used to be Lucy Quimby used to be the chair of that, and then it moved to Virginia Wood. Anyway, so that's kind of, I mean, I'm looking at your arts advocacy document, and you've got everything on there that I would have on there. I mean, it's
Okay.
really well done.
Mm-hmm. It has, I want to share a couple of those things real quick. I'm out of practice on the share screen thing. I think this is what I want. And I'm not really worried about sound, but just in case. Okay. So this is one. Are we waiting for 411? Yeah. Okay. So here's a toolkit, local arts advocacy toolkit. Talking points for public comment, tips for effective, lots of good stuff. So this is a great little slide, little presentation with lots of slides. So in case you do make some public comment somewhere, there's a lot of information about what you can say. Oh, look, there's letters to send. So that was kind of a neat thing, and that is in this toolkit right here. Downloadable templates for school board letters, op-ed ones. This is out of LA, so it's specifically there's some LA stuff. There was this one. What was this one? This is another Arts for LA. Let's see. Oh yes, so this is a lot of really good PDF and really nice looking PDF, so that this was kind of a neat, like, what's your school board meeting info? Who are the decision makers? What, you know, here's a little, just a little one sheet for all your info that you might need if you're a, you know, forming a team, an advocacy team. So that again there's a lot of links on this page here.
And if you, so I see that you've got Ping Ho down there at UCLA Arts and Healing. That or not the Ping Ho one underneath it. That was a really, really good webinar. Like Bill and I want to hire Ping Ho to do one for our county. If you get a chance, the whole webinar isn't great, but the Ping Ho part is great. And she's probably, you know, half an hour to 45 minutes of it. It's got some really great language around arts and social emotional learning. And as we all know, this is going to be the trauma. This is our collective trauma, and we all have, we think, jobs and housing and food security, right? So.
This is the NAFME little one page, really, you know, back to front, little brochure that you can print off and fold and hand out, or in this virtual world, just give the link out to people. I might try to embed it on my websites and things like that, just as something that is really easily seen. Yeah, so I just wanted to quickly go through a couple of those little neat things, and they look good. And again, if you have a little bit of, if you have, you know, 1 or 2 people on a little advocacy team in your district, you know, then those documents can sort of help organize. Dan, what's going on in Del Norte? I'm unaware, and I would love to be educated by someone who's actually there.
We're so isolated up here. So everything's changing, and it's a cluster mess. As of, well, technically until tomorrow, there's going to be a board proposal to make everyone distance until October. Up till then, it was K-8 was coming back as a 2-1-2 model, a hybrid model, but no one's ready, and the tech isn't in place for anything. So it's they're going to delay the start of school for a week so that the teachers have an extra week of PD and practice with digital platforms and whatnot. So if we can come back in October and then have to shut down like on a snap of a finger, then we're ready for it. So everyone has the tech in place and the teachers know what they're doing with Canvas and Flipgrid or Google Classroom or the 20,000 other things that people have talked about using. So musically speaking, we're not in a great place, but we're in a good place. We only have 6 teachers up here, so we all talk a lot. So we're all unified in what we want to use for tech-wise and kind of the direction for performances and whatnot, which of course are all digital at this point. No talk about cutting anything. However, there's a couple positions that never got filled back. We lost like a 0.4 teacher. They took a full-time job and they're not replacing it. So we're trying to scramble to figure out how we can get K4 music into one school site. But other than that, it's moving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I share my screen, Holly?
Please. I need to give you permission, probably, huh?
No, we don't. So this is a neat little crosswalk from selarts.org, which I think is out of Chicago, nope, New Jersey, where they took artistic processes that are similar to ours in California and aligned them with social emotional learning competencies. So I'll put this in the chat, but I thought it was a really good one. I mean, the more you can talk about social emotional learning while you're talking about music, the more buy-in you're gonna get. Because we've all known it's true, but now we actually have research behind it.
Right. You know, I was on a NAFME webinar recently. Let me see if I can find it. And a music teacher was, I'm not even going to be able to find this, was showing how the social emotional learning lined up with the music standards. And their standards, like California's, are based on the national standards. So it was basically this perfectly lined up grid. And I'll put a link to it on this document when I find it. But it was a really it's just a screenshot of him during the meeting, but it shows, you know, here's the social emotional skill, and here's the music standards that lines up with that. So it was a nifty organizational thing, kind of like what you were just showing, Stacy. Okay. So what are our next steps? Are we just waiting to see what's going to happen with those few places that are still deciding? Mm-hmm.
Kind of, it's hard to know how to support people till we know what everybody's doing, although I think we should prepare for distance.
Mm-hmm. My 2 sites are both distance. And that it is crummy because I wanted that like even 2 weeks at the beginning to be able to say, here's the button you push. Here's how you log into whatever. But now I'm just getting good at trying to make tutorials instead, I guess.
I know Northern Humboldt is still bringing
sure.
special ed students to campus.
Okay.
And so I think there could be wiggle room if you were to be working from your classroom to invite 1 or 2 students in at a time.
Oh yeah, with distance.
Or to have a private lesson. I think Chris and Charles have talked about perhaps using a practice room for students who don't have a place to record their own work. I think you and Charles about that, Chris.
Oh sure, because you want to make sure it's an equitable.
Yeah, Del Nord's doing the same thing. We'll allow small cohorts after week 3. We can have up to 10 students in our room to do special projects or record, but obviously no singing or playing in the room, so they have to go outside, but they can come in and get help, direct help. That's what we're hoping for the elementary kids too, that even because it hasn't been board approved, I don't even think my other elementary teachers know about the full distance thing yet. But I've been telling them to plan for it because this was decided at an emergency exec board meeting yesterday, and Lisa's on the exec board with DNTA, so I was listening. So when this gets voted through, I'm hoping that the elementary teachers get that day where they can have like 5 kids outside to demo instruments, so they even know what the difference between a saxophone and a clarinet is.
There's a difference.
Shut up, Holly. Wow, I got nothing. That was as good as I could think of in a whim like that.
Watch out, Holly. The viola jokes are going to start
I
piling in.
know, right? I take them as good as I give them. I guess.
There's
Like,
no
what's the difference between a violin and a viola?
clarinet. They both need repair.
They both need repairing. What's a viola? Let's see. Does anyone have anything else they feel is pertinent or relevant information for our cause here?
I would just the only thing that I've been telling my other music teachers, I've been expecting full distance learning for like since March, because I'm department chair at the high school, and we've talked for hours as a department heads and the principal, like this is what we should have because it's the most seamless. Because moving around with electives at the high school and having 50-50 is not possible, because how do you know which 50% are in what class? There's too many variances. So we knew, like, going in, and I was pushing to my other teachers, hey, just plan for full distance, and if it's not, great, but plan for it. Have a plan in place, because if you have a plan in place, they're not going to take anything away. So yeah,
Okay.
everyone's gonna be full distance within a week or 2. I know they are. It's gonna happen.
Probably. Lots. Okay.
Yeah, it's already hitting the other states. I mean, all you gotta do is just watch the news, and you're seeing schools are opening, and 2 days later they're shutting down because.
Yeah, the one in Georgia was scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was like 200 cases already, and they shut the school down,
Well, there's,
or something like that,
when
or
they
something.
you see the picture of the hallway. And
Yeah. Oh yeah.
full of
That's
kids,
exactly what I mean,
every school.
for my personal kids, Crescent Oak Middle School, no, they're not doing that. Oh, and the reason, so Del Norte, the reason they're thinking about this model all of a sudden is because over 700 people signed their kids up for online learning, and we only have 3,200 kids in the district. So when you have a third
Uh-huh.
or a quarter saying online, please, it's a no-brainer.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay.
Dan,
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Judy.
how are you getting, how are the kids who live in remote areas getting access to online learning?
That is a great question.
Is there,
Our tech department's pulling their hair out trying to figure it out right now. Part of the reason we're delaying is the tech is coming. It's just being late. So we got enough funding to get Chromebooks 1-to-1 for the entire district, which is awesome. Internet's a harder thing to deal with.
yeah,
There's talk on the short term by you will put a bus out in Klamath with a hotspot so people can park around it and do their homework.
There you go.
And or you can go to the wall, and one can go out of the Walmart parking lot towards the back. Not a great solution though. Who wants to go to sit in a parking lot for 3 hours and do their homework? No, you need to be comfortable in a space where it's functioning. So they're working on it, utilizing tribal offices and stuff around the area, but it's not going to be perfect. But yeah, no, I mean, this is talk about the next thing that needs to be publicly funded, the internet.
Uh-huh.
I mean, everyone needs it.
Uh-huh.
It's such a digital world and no one's ready.
It's basically the telephone at this point. I mean,
Yeah. If you don't have high-speed internet, you're going to get it. And, you know, it should be heavily subsidized for the people who can't afford it, especially the ones that are in rural areas like us. Because there's pockets out here that there's just no internet or even cell phone reception. I don't get reception in Klamath.
and it's California. You wouldn't think, oh, California has a problem. Yeah, we do because of these spots. Totally.
Yeah. California's a big state.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so yeah, I know that's everyone's problem, you know, unless you live in, you know, San Francisco itself. That's everyone's problem.
But hotspots they're trying to figure it out. I mean, that's yeah, totally. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Dan, I want to talk to you about the website soon.
Okay, yeah, I figured you were going to talk to me about that soon.
Maybe that'll be another thing that I try to make sure happens before I hand off the baton. Thank you, everyone.
Another 6 years.
What?
I'm just kidding.
Woo!
Another 6 years as president?
Right.
All in favor? We almost have a quorum right now.
I'm sorry. Do we think, I mean, I think we're not having an all-county music festival. Does anybody else think we are?
NorCal's already canceled.
Okay, then yeah.
Okay.
No, I doubt it. I mean, I think, how about we just all county music light if there's a vaccine in December, but if there's not?
I don't think it'll be accessible to anybody but celebrities.
No.
But
Right. Well, we can, yay.
Well, it's going to take months to produce that many, but yeah, exactly.
Well, we can do solo and ensemble possibly, or solo or whatever.
that's what I think.
How?
We do solo ensemble festival.
Outside?
Or virtually, you could do a solo.
Virtually. Oh, okay.
One of the things we could consider is every school can nominate them to like a virtual at least give them the accolades. You know, I know we're not going to have it, but we can. You know, you've been nominated to be the representative. They can at least put that on their transcripts or their college applications. But we can consider something that there were at least a nomination process to like.
Especially if, say, someone got nominated all 4 years of high school or something.
Yeah.
Even if it didn't happen, they at least got nominated.
I think we can still come up with something even without a in-person concert. We can come up with a name and just Humboldt Del Norte All Stars or something. I don't know, something like that could at least give some recognition to those kids who've been through it for a while and could really use that bump on their college applications.
You know, one thing that I'd be willing to volunteer for. So my department at the high school especially is going to be using a lot of like video production, kind of like the Eric Whitaker stuff, but not nearly as produced because I'm not that good. But we have a media arts teacher at the high school who's has students that does this, that produces videos every day for news things and everything else. But obviously there's nothing to report on because there's no school. So they're going to be looking for projects and stuff. So he's already said yes, that we could utilize his kids to produce videos and stuff. If we wanted to have a virtual all county with at least high school and junior high, and you know, I could help edit some of those videos down. I mean, I'd have to ask a lot of questions to see if I get help from the media arts class. But it just takes time.
Yeah,
That's what I'm going to be doing a lot of it.
Yeah, it does, and I tried getting some of my high school students to at least submit some of them playing some music to me for assignments, and it was really difficult for a lot of them. They just didn't have the technology available to them. You know,
I know.
a lot of them barely had an old phone that they could at least check their stuff in, but being able to get that information, print the information off, record it, and then send it, it just became that's where you really saw an equity issue.
Cumbersome. Well, I'm hoping that with everyone gets a Chromebook, that'll help our district. So everyone's on an even playing field. So I won't do anything outside the tech specs of what that is. And then a lot of front loading information, a lot of how to do it the right way. So you're not wasting time troubleshooting the tech. Just a thought. Maybe we could do digital festivals. I remember Del Norte had to do that 5 years ago. We couldn't make it down because of a schedule conflict. And we just submitted a recording and got feedback.
Yeah.
And because we're so isolated, so much more than ever now. I mean, no field trips. I mean, I doubt anyone's going to let us leave the county. I doubt it. And even if they say yes, that, you know, it's still a maybe, because what if the buses are needed to deliver food around to the county? Because I bet that's going to happen too.
Yeah.
So
Stacy, you were going to say something?
I was just going to say, back to that idea, if we've got students that we've nominated and we can put them in a practice room without us, with the window open, and we can set up the recording for them, then it could be teacher, you know, because you're only talking about a handful of students in each ensemble, right? It could be something, and then we could send you the video and it'd be high quality.
Yeah.
That's a great
Right,
idea.
a teacher, led help with that, at least for those that needed that help.
Right, because it's teacher recommended anyway.
Yeah. And if someone doesn't do it, great. You turn up the third clarinets louder. You know, I mean, you balance it all out. I mean, you don't have to have 7 third clarinets to balance out the 7 first. You can have 3 as long as the parts are there. I don't know. It's just a thought.
Neat idea. Yeah, definitely.
But even with solo and ensemble, I think even if we were to get some, use smart music or something like that as the accompaniment and be able to record those and send and submit those like a virtual solo and ensemble, I think that's a good possibility. You may not have ensembles, because I know like Eureka, man, they're just really pretty much adamant about not having any music on campus right now. It's kind of a drag, but if we're
like
at least
zero?
do some solos, I'm sorry, say it again.
Like zero music, like even outside.
We're working on it.
Okay, because the state guidelines were very clear. I mean, no singing or playing indoors.
Right.
So go outside until it rains. That's what I'm going to be doing. I mean, at least running sectionals with my piano pushed up against a door, like, okay, sing, you know, so that they get some experiences together before they're off by themselves completely.
Yeah.
Well, Holly, if you want to get approval from your executive board, and then let me know, you and I can come up with a budget to submit to Chris, so that we can float money to Dan's media arts teacher to give them more incentive to do it.
Ooh, Ron Gastineau loves money.
And if we need to buy microphones for each music teacher that's high quality, you know, I feel like we would, you know, it's a budget of a number. It isn't a budget of like, we have to have 7 conductors or whatever.
Right.
So let's float. You should float that around, you know, your executive board and the membership, and see what you think.
Okay. Yeah, a little some sort of festival thing that's happening like that. That's cool. That'd be great.
And then if we show it on a YouTube where we could have donations,
Yep.
whatever.
Yay. Neat.
What about strings? Strings are prohibited also?
They are not.
No, but what kid knows how to tune their instrument? Like I'm gonna pick and I'm gonna give it back to them. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, at Scotia, they have lots of instruments. I'm thinking that only the kids that Dana had 2 years ago could continue. And what they would do is when they come to pick up their lunches on Wednesday, they would have a freshly tuned instrument and they would turn in the one they've got, and I would tune it, and we just have this rotation. So they get tuned once a week.
Okay.
We should have as many ensembles as we can. I think it's just a case-by-case basis with teachers and schools,
Yeah.
just as it always has been.
Yeah, I can't do beginning violin on distance, but I can
No,
do, but
that's
yeah,
why I wouldn't do
with the
any
ones that have already
beginning.
taken
They'd
it.
have to have, and also the band kids would all be online and once a week, 20-minute lessons.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, lots of ideas. I like that we have ideas. It's just getting them out there and getting them to the admins.
Right.
Yeah.
So it looks like we have some good documents. I like these ideas about trying to get all county happening just differently. And we'll do that. And I'll have, let's see, what's coming up? Monday is the tech tools for music teachers sharing thing. And then after that, I'll have to be scheduling our fall North Coast CMEA meeting. This weekend, I have the board meeting with the state board of directors. So then I'll have some more information about what's going on at that level to share. So, all right. Thank you everyone for joining me.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'm sure that we don't need to reinvent the wheel on some of those festival things. So maybe Bay Area or North Section, what are they doing for their festivals? Maybe
Okay.
even North Section would be more relevant because of the distances and economic disparities more than the Bay Area.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And are we going to have a fall quote meeting?
Yeah, I'll schedule a fall meeting.
Okay.
Digitally.
It'll be digital, but I'll schedule one for sure. And
Okay.
probably, at least monthly after that. So,
Great.
and I don't mind continuing to do this. So, have the meetings like this more frequently. Yes. All right.
Super.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
We'll be in touch.
Ollie, you and I should stay on, just talk about the website real fast.
Okay, let's do it.
See you.
Yeah.
Great. Good to see you all.